Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much. Okay. Let's see. Where are we here? We're not going to be on that long, and I'm serious this time. It won't be an hour. Um, Megan's Gem, and thank you for being here, Lydia Washington. Thank you very much. Let's see. Um, who else is here? Mary H. and Diva. Thank you for being here. Charm, charm. Okay. And who else is here? Oh, okay. All right. Um, all right. It's been raining a lot, you guys. Oh my goodness, I cannot take it. My neck, shoulder, this, that, the other. I just been sleeping a lot and everything hurts. I think I'm getting old. But yeah, this has been when it's raining a lot like that, I am just no earthly good. Which what it did a lot last week. This is like the rainiest fall that but we didn't get much rain this year, so I guess I should not complain. But I feel like I've just been on like a very long road trip. That's what I feel like I've been on. Like I've been in a car for days. Um, but this too shall pass. And my usual uh, pain stuff is not working. I don't even bother at this point. I just have to deal with it. But yes, it is Arthur. Arthur has been visiting me a lot. Arthur has been kicking my behind. Okay. Let's get on with it, shall we? Remember, a lot of people are moving over to Sky Blue, Blue Sky, Sky's the limit, whatever the name of that new app is. A lot of people are moving. They're leaving the world of Twitter. And of course, this experience promises to be um, less hateful because Twitter, the N word is been given license on Twitter. And some of the stuff that is available on Twitter, it is unspeakable. I have seen things that should not ever be a part of polite society, and yet there it is. So um, that's why I don't really encourage people to go to Twitter because it can really cause problems for you. It could be detrimental to your mental health. So anything in social media that is proven to be too much for you, just tune it out. Tune it out. That includes Royal Sussex. Tune it out. Because your mental health is more important. Your mental health is way more important. Spoutable. I'm signed up to Spoutable, but I have not made good use of it for my needs of doing like research for my content. It has not been so useful to me. And to be fair, I don't think I've really given it a good chance either. But like the group chats and such, as far as I know, that still exists on X, formerly known as Twitter. And I haven't known of I think the last time that I was involved with a group chat on Spoutable, it did not work out so well. Um, there were some issues. And not to disparage Spoutable, because any of these platforms, there are growing pains. Just this last couple weeks, me being unable to add my usual Google Slides to the um, StreamYard has been a problem. That has been a huge problem. So It just goes to show that even though something has been around for a while, doesn't mean that they don't have their little, I guess, bugs or whatever. And then when you do an update to the iOS program, it sometimes creates a new problem. But when they work it out, then they'll do a repeat, update soon thereafter, and it seems to work out from that point. But no matter how advanced the electronics, if you put garbage in, you're going to get garbage out. So um, I say let's celebrate when things work and try to limit the amount of times that we complain about those isolated occasions when nothing seems to work. But we just have to take it day by day. So to continue, so Denzel Washington and King Charles had a handshake snafu. So I looked into this, and so I even changed the title from humiliating to awkward, because having taken a measure of it, there's only one video I was able to find. And it, of course, like anything else, by the time you get past these salacious headlines, it wasn't so bad after all. So I heard Denzel say from his mouth on the video, I didn't know if I was supposed to grab you or not. The gladiator actor said as he greeted the monarch at the Wednesday night premiere. Well, of course, that was Wednesday night. I think they had a second premiere because there seemed to be a change of clothes. Whereas here he's in a suit with tie. And then there's another video where he's dressed a little more casual. So I'm thinking this must have been something over a 2-day period, which would make sense because it seems like it would be a kickoff for Europe. Also, to fly everyone over there for a premiere, assuming that, most of the actors don't live in the UK. So to get everybody over there, you wouldn't just want to have a single event. And plus, if you want to have a big, epic, profitable movie with all of these big names, it just makes sense to hold multiple events to promote the movie. And so maybe profit wise, this may be one of the biggest movies of the year, if not the biggest, who knows? But they're getting their mileage out of it. And it doesn't hurt to have one of the royals come to the premiere, as Queen Elizabeth and Margaret used to do back in the old days, and the Queen Mother. Could you imagine that back in the old days when they would go to a movie premiere, they would wear a tiara? You guys remember that? God, that was weird. But yeah, it seemed like they would get all dressed up and wear a tiara and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I don't mind getting dressed up, but that seemed like a bit much. But again, that was about 70 years ago. I don't think they would do that now. Although it would be, I'm not going to lie to you, I'm kind of selfish. It would be a lot of fun to see the Duchess of Sussex in the tiara again. I am praying for the day that I see our Duchess in the tiara. I don't think it's going to happen, though, but I would love to see that. I would love to see that. I'm just hoping that we'll see that Harry has quietly and discreetly designed a tiara for his wife and maybe present it to her for her birthday or something like that. And then when the occasion comes, but yeah, the royals don't wear tiaras as much as they used to. I think that Queen Elizabeth may be the last to wear them as often from that family, but we'll see. And Meghan has never done a state dinner. She's never done a state dinner, as far as I know. I think the only state dinner that she was invited to, she was going through her, what do you call it? Whatever. She was going through that, and also Donald Trump was there, so that's a good reason not to go. So on Wednesday, King Charles III spent the night before his 76th birthday on a solo outing at the premiere of the Gladiator 2 after Queen Camilla declined to attend following her recovery from a chest infection. During his time on the red carpet at Leicester Theatre, or is it Leicester? Leicester Square Odeon Theatre. The king did get a speak with director Ridley Scott and the cast member Pedro Pascal, Joseph Quinn, Paul Mescal, and Denzel Washington. When King Charles showed up at the Gladiator 2 premiere last night, security told Denzel Washington to go inside and meet him. And then they said, Denzel reportedly said, I make my own rules and continue to talk to fans. Now, I'm inclined to believe that, and I'm going to tell you why. Because one thing that I know for certain about Denzel, he's not going to be handled. He is not going to be handled. I have seen a couple of red carpet things where Denzel will take the time to get in your face and tell you to calm down. So I'm inclined to believe that. He may not feel the fuss and urgency to spend his time with someone that he's going to meet anyway. So I'm just going to say I'm going to accept this as very likely. Now, I have not found a recording of it. I looked. I could not find it. But I saw on another occasion where someone was trying to get Denzel distracted from going inside of a building. And he said, I just told you I will see you on the way out. He said, do you not see me talking to these people? And I was just like, wow. So because Denzel is who he is, I could easily believe that if someone is trying to handle him or corral him in some kind of way, that he will, let you know, I'm doing something, and I'll, later or whatever. In his own words, he would say it. So I could believe that. So I don't believe there was any tension between Charles and Denzel. I believe it was one of those people on the carpet, kind of like when was it Kelly Rollins? Who was that was going to the movie premiere? Oh no, it was what thing was that where she was going up the steps and that woman kept sticking her arm out and wouldn't let her turn around and wave to the crowd. Oh, every time I see that, I get hot. I get hot every time I see that. But Lester, thank you very much. Yeah, I get hot every time I see that. Because it seems like, I mean, I'm not trying to go there, but it seems like when it's somebody black, they have this disposition. They get very physical and confrontational about the way they handle you, like they expect that you're going to, pull out your Glock or something like that. And it always seems to be a bit over the top. It always seems to be over the top. So I've experienced that before where you see people like planting their feet as if you're about to pounce them or something like that, as though you don't understand English and you're like a raging bull or something like that. I've had that happen to me where people started getting this idea that I'm about to get confrontational, so they kind of puff their chest up and everything. And then also being very condescending to people of color in certain social situations. I've experienced that before. So it's just, that type of microaggressions can creep up on you at the most inopportune moment where you least expect it. Oh yeah, it was the Cannes Film Festival. Thank you, Hazel Jones. I hate seeing stuff like that. You know, it takes a perfectly good evening and turn it into something very awkward. And then for the poor person who has experienced that, as I've said, I never felt like I experienced racism at all when I was in the UK, except, except when I was told to produce my ticket for the first class of the train. And instantly I was trying to decide whether or not I was the only, actually, yeah, okay. So that was at one time in the UK. And then I've told you all about the story of the train going through Germany where I know I was racially profiled. So you can find the video yourself. Did something happen? Was something said? I will let you all decide. But as far as I know, it seemed as though, um, based on what the witness heard and the way they described it, I believe it could be true. But so far, I have not found the video. He actually met him yesterday in the royal premiere. Maybe this was after the screening, huh? King Charles went to the Gladiator 2 premiere last night. Denzel Washington was told to stop speaking to fans and go speak to the king. And he said no. Now, see how just that fast it changes a bit? Well done. That's what everyone needs to say to him. See how it changes just a little bit from here to there? It changed. I make my own rules, and then it turned into just a flat no. Not sure. But the one thing that I am certain of is you don't handle Denzel Washington. That he does not tolerate. And then I did see at least one photo where they were doing the handshake, right? One would almost think that Denzel had gave Charles a bit of a head bow, but he did not. He was leaning in. He said, "I'm not sure whether or not I was supposed to grab you." And I don't know, maybe that was just like a little banter or something like that. But I had to watch the video because I'm just like, "Oh, Denzel, please tell me you didn't bow to this creep." And he did not. He leaned in because, Denzel is very expressive and he makes very strong eye contact with people when he's speaking. He makes sure that there's no confusion. So when he's speaking, he tends to lean in sometimes, and that's exactly what he did. So there was that. But that's about the only thing. And Charles said, that you've been in quite a few movies, very impressive. And also, I believe Denzel had told him that his character was a nice chap, which of course he was using a little bit of the British dialect by saying chap because that's not something that we say in the U.S. But all in all, it was very cordial. So I, yeah, it's that red carpet moment. That's the one that I'm going to try to find the video because I just cannot be sure exactly what happened. It sounds reasonable, but I'm just not sure. Uh, well, Leah Torre, I don't know if you heard the story, but I will share it with you. And it was myself and some gentleman from, I believe he said he was from Hong Kong. I don't think it was Taiwan. He said he was from Hong Kong. Definitely Chinese, right? And he said he was from Hong Kong. Spoke perfect English, so that makes sense because a lot of people from Hong Kong speak perfect English. And so I keep my backpack with me. My backpack is like a football. I keep it, you know, near. When I sit down, I usually put one of my legs through the strap. Sometimes I'll put my leg through the strap and just pull it up to my knee or whatever. But I'm very guarded about my backpack when I'm traveling because, being a baby boomer, I have my medications and a lot of times my ID and everything is in there. So I just do not leave it places. And when I got up to go to the bathroom, this is when instinct kicks in. Having such a great rapport with the guy that I was speaking to, he saw me, rise out of my seat, and I said, "Excuse me," I said, "I'm gonna," and he said, "Well, you can leave your bag if you like." I said, "Nah, that's okay. I keep it with me, right? Do not ever be embarrassed or ashamed or hesitate to think of your well-being first. If that voice in your head says, keep your bag with you, I don't care if it's a suitcase, keep it with you. Now, my suitcase was stored at the end of the compartment, but my day bag, I kept that with me. So I said, no, that's okay. I keep this with me wherever I go. Okay. So I come back, I sit down, and we're talking, and we're having a great conversation and everything. And back in those days, I, you know, I'm not a millennial or anything like that, so I usually didn't take pictures with people that I met. I just didn't ask because it just seemed so awkward back in those days. But nowadays, is more typical. So I couldn't pick this guy out of a crowd if I had to. But while I'm sitting there, I heard the door to the cabin open behind me. And I didn't really think about it. I just thought it was someone going from one car to the next or whatever. And the next thing I know, there's a guy standing right there next to me. I look over and I'm literally looking at this guy's midsection because he's walked up to me. And I look over and he's flashed his badge, German police. Let me see your ID or your passport or whatever he said. And I said, sure. And he wanted my passport and he wanted this other guy's passport. So remember, I don't know that this is the cop until he's next to me. It was two of them. And so he's taken his phone and he's trying to phone in the numbers from my passport. And it just was not working. He wasn't getting any coverage or whatever. And so the guy that I was sitting with, he said, if you like, you could use my mobile. And he just kind of, with that this this very crunchy look on his face, like, eh. And so he decided he'll just write these numbers down. So he pulls out his pad and he's writing the numbers down and everything. And they gave us back our passports, and that was it. Nothing else was said. There was no hello or goodbye or anything. And so after they left us, they literally went to the next compartment. They didn't want to see our tickets. They just wanted to see who we were. And after that happened, I was sitting there, I was like, wow, that's interesting. But also, what was going through my mind is, I'm so glad I took my bag with me because that entire time I would probably be thinking to myself, oh my God, did this person put something in my bag? Do you understand what I'm saying? I was so glad that I didn't have to have that moment of uncertainty, wondering Am I traveling with someone that is under suspicion? So, okay, that was all that. But the only thing I can add to that is I did ask this guy. I said, when they boarded the train, remember I cannot see them, or when they, walked into our car, I said, did they stop any place in between or did they come straight to us? He said, no, they came straight to us. Wow. I said, okay. And so I told him, I said, they must think that we some broke ass Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker or something like that. I don't know what that's about. But they must think we are the poor man's Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker. And so we had a little laugh about that. So that I am reasonably certain was racial profiling. That I'm certain of. So aside from those two occasions, the many times I've been back and forth to Europe, that's the only times that I can say that it was weird. The other one with the train ticket, that was, you know, it seemed to me like they did not believe I belonged in the first class. I'm walking toward the front of the train, and the guy, sir, may I see your ticket? I'm like, yeah. He said, are you a first class passenger? I said, yes, I am. So now, around the same time that happened to me, that the gymnast, the biracial guy, who I think um I can't remember his name, but he's British. He's biracial, and he had like a big lawsuit, or he had a big news story or something like that, where he had been racially profiled by someone from the railroad. And it happened around the same time that that happened to me. So, and of course, him being a young black man, I could imagine they just thought he did not belong in the first class. I'm gonna tell you, British Rail is expensive. Those to me are the most expensive trains in Europe. So I think that the price serves two reasons. One is just greed. The other is just to keep poor people from moving back and forth across the country. They want to keep people isolated and stuck in whatever town they're in because the cost is dreadfully expensive. Um, well, and you know what? That was actually the truth. That was actually the truth. And it wasn't because I necessarily wanted the first class ticket, but I told you before that Rail Europe, if you buy a rail pass, they ask you to get the first class so that you'll be guaranteed a seat. And for the particular ticket I wanted, they would not, because I had an open ticket. So I had to have the first class, whether I wanted it or not. So that's what they gave me, was a first class. And so it worked out. I didn't know how crowded the trains were in some places. So it made a lot of sense at that time. Okay. So I think we can move on from this one. Oh, and there's Denzel. There's Denzel. If this was that moment, I don't know. You know how there are some celebrities that you may be nervous to meet? I don't know that I would ever want to meet Denzel Washington because I'm just afraid I would say something really stupid. There are a few celebrities that intimidate me, not because I feel like they're better than me, but because I just feel like they've seen it all, they heard it all, and I do believe that they don't suffer fools lightly, you know. And there's always someone trying to run game on celebrities, and some of them just, I always hear people say that this person is mean and cruel and this and that. But on the other side of it is someone who people F with trying to get a reaction. And if they don't know you, they don't know that you're not the next person trying to get a lawsuit or get a good story for the papers or something. So that's why I always say I'm always nervous to meet certain people because I just don't want to get on their wrong side. Okay. Um, so Camilla could not make it. There's still some emergency services parked outside of Buckingham Palace. They've been there, ever since the announcement was made. So one thing we can be sure of is that she's getting the best of care possible for someone of her species. So you don't have to worry. I know some of you guys are a bit emotional, wondering if we're about to lose the queen consort. It was hard to say that with a straight face, but I know some of you all are kind of emotional, wondering if we're going to lose the queen consort. And I'm just here to tell you that everything that can be done will be done. They have not, you know, allowed any witch doctor, shaman, um, no, there's no conventional or alternative medicine that is going to be ruled out in order to put that bag of bones back together again. So she'll be back. Just like the plague, she'll come back. What starts off with a a flea bite or a tick and turns into a pandemic, you can rest assured that Camilla, the queen consort, will be back. Also, there was this viral video floating around the internet where it seems as though someone snapped a photo. You see there, the guy snapping a photo. It looks like someone snapped a photo of someone who resembles uh, the queen consort. Same, what is it? Bad built, bleach blonde, butch body. Yeah. So someone obviously has snapped a photo of someone or something resembling Camilla, the queen consort. So I cannot say for certain that that was Camilla, but it very much it looks like her. I'll say that. There's a lot of things that make sense, but yeah. So who knows if she feels good enough to go out, you know, tipping past the tourists to find her favorite pub, then I'm going to say there's a good chance she's okay. Also, there was another interesting sighting, maybe the same person, maybe not, I'm not sure, but um, just outside of the London Animal Hospital, there was someone who very much had the same description as Godzilla, the queen consort. So, and the person even looks kind of guilty, like they're not supposed to be there. So, I don't know, you guys. I don't know. I mean, maybe they're just making this up. Maybe there's nothing wrong with her. If she's got enough energy to go out there and snap photos with the tourists, and if she has enough energy to try to scare the resident cat at the local animal hospital, which of course is not where she's seeking treatment, they say. I'm assuming, but who knows? Who knows? Like I said, there's no type of medical treatment that's being ruled out to save the queen consort's life. And then on the tube yesterday, it was said that there was also someone riding through the tube in London of the same description, right? All of those brunettes, and there's just one bleach blonde, bad built, butch body. So I think she's faking it. Don't ask me why, but I think she's faking it. Either that or maybe some senility has set in and she don't know where she's supposed to be. So that's funny though, because I didn't think they had any forward facing seats on the tube. I thought they sat opposite each other, but maybe this is one of those new trains they put in, huh? A governor. So yeah. And let me see what else. Was there something else? Oh yeah. Um they said that the ratings was kind of low for Her Majesty the Queen behind closed doors. I happen to have found a photo that um you know what, one of the cast people, maybe it was a cast member or film crew member or whatever, but somebody's going to be in a lot of trouble. But I found it right here. Um it's from the deleted scene from Her Majesty the Queen behind closed doors. You see there? That's a deleted scene from that documentary. Whoever filmed this is going to be in a lot of trouble. A deleted scene from behind closed doors. I don't know how they did this. I don't know. But someone is going to be in a lot of trouble. But to me, it's worth it. It's worth taking the fall to have an opportunity to see Camilla, the Queen Consort, in her natural habitat. Is worth gold. It's worth its weight in gold. So there you go. If you were worried about the Queen Consort, don't, because it seems like she was crowd surfing. Yeah, before they took that photo, they said that some old woman was like surfing on top of the crowd. They literally hoisted her up and was just like, that's where she finally landed on her feet. And then, of course, there was that curious appearance outside of the London Animal Hospital and the commute on the tube. And, of course, the deleted scene from the documentary. So I think she's faking it. I think she's faking it. I think they're just trying to drum up sympathy to get more views. So, but watch this space. We'll see. Um, Russell Myers says the king has opened the first coronation food hub in Deptford, southeast London, on his 76th birthday. The Coronation Food Project, launched last year, aims to bridge the gap between food waste and food need across the UK, helping people and helping the planet. Now, I think they're just trying to get some mailing lists so the next time Charles thinks, oh, maybe some of the civilians can go out there and pick strawberries or whatever. Remember, he had that scathing plan, and people were just like, okay, well, you first. Whatever the case may be, um, you may notice that they're not saying food bank, they're calling it a food hub. I do believe that that is for political reasons, because to call it a food bank would be the government conceding that the economy is so bad that there's an increasing amount of people resorting to handouts to supplement their dietary needs. They have to depend upon handouts. And remember, the royals are supposed to stay away from politics. So that's what I think. That's what I think, is that they're trying to avoid the words. Now, what I want to share with you again, and listen, I made 2 videos yesterday and I made one this morning. So if you get an opportunity to watch those, because as Lady Sussex says with Baron, if you miss one, you miss a lot. So if you get an opportunity to check those out, feel free to skip through it. I just hate to go through all the trouble of sitting there for 2.5 hours making a video and nobody's watching it. So feel free to skip through it. Skip to your favorite parts. Um, Let me see. What was I going to say? Oh, yes, yes, yes. What I wanted to share with you was from earlier today. This, of course, being the second video. Um, that young man who seems to have the royal family's number. What did he call himself? The Champagne Socialist? Oh, that guy is awesome. The Champagne Socialist. So good. And also, did you all see this where they made that huge mural of Charles? This one? Charles stopped fleecing Britain. Did you all see that? God, that was embarrassing, wasn't it? Okay, this guy. This guy. Let me cue that up for you. Sometimes I just listen to him over and over and over again. Okay.
South Africa's gut.
Where are we?
Lord. Stuff like this just sums up what's wrong with the UK. Keen to open 2 food distribution hubs to mark 76th birthday. First of all, they're called food banks. Second of all, why is the king opening food banks being treated as a cause for celebration? Food banks exist because the state has failed in its duty of care to its citizens. And to give you an idea of how big that failure is, we have more food banks than branches of McDonald's in this country. Now, that should be a source of national shame for any government, apart from the last Tory one, whose economic and social measures saw the Trussell Trust go from operating 50 food banks in 2010 to 1,699 in 2024. That right there is what a Tory government does in power. But the reason the royal family are doing this is because people are clocking on that they're a bunch of parasites leeching off of public money, as exposed in a documentary that revealed that Charles and William's private estates are charging public services millions of pounds to use their land, and they're not paying tax on their earnings. That's why we see this sort of shameless PR. It's either that or a health scare. Seriously, if the royal family wanted to end food bank dependency, they're sitting on a fortune valued at £21 billion. Put it to good use. Or they could just pay their taxes like everybody else would if they wanted to take part in parasite activities like being a landlord.
So you can find that young man on TikTok. Oh, what am I doing here? And as you recall, the Prince and Princess of Wales neglected to bring something for their keening season. Their keening season is that period in which they decide that they are going to do some work. They're going to do busy work. So Celibacy has dubbed it the keening season, especially for Kate. Kate is keen to do this and Kate is keen to do that. And if I had $1 for every article that said Kate is coming into her own, Kate is finally coming into her own, it's embarrassing. It is a source of embarrassment. And you could easily say, well, not everybody can do this or that. Kate has access to the best of everything. One thing that I admire about the real Princess of Wales, Princess Diana, is that Diana literally learned on the job and she never stopped trying to improve her public speaking. She made sure that she was better informed. And also, when someone asked her about why does she do these things, well, she laughed and said, I have nothing else to do. But the truth is, and it is the truth, is Diana wanted to do something with her platform since there was really no need for her in the royal family, since they had decided that they did not want her to participate in any of the public duties. She really worked hard to etch out a life of her own, and she was very successful. And I believe that that is one of the things that has motivated Harry to pursue a life of service, and especially the quality of the service that he's doing is because of his mother. Because one could easily cut ribbons or sit on these various boards and such, and or let people use your name and just go to the gala, and that's the extent of your involvement. But the Sussexes, they do a lot of the work behind the scenes. What William pretends to do, they are actually doing. So um, it really does make the rest of the family look bad. But it's not as though that they are interested in doing better. So um, again, this image of Oliver Twist is what comes to my mind when I think about Charles. This idea of a hub versus saying food bank is just a bunch of nonsense. It is a food bank. There are people that are hungry. And of course, there's always so much more that they could be doing. But I posted a video to the community tab. I don't know if you guys watched it, but I think it's about 8 minutes long. And it talked about William and his approach to conservation and such. And this guy really called William out. And the other stuff that I've been paying close attention to is the slumlord accusations, and of course, the basic greed of Charles and William. And these people are really going at it. They're really going, they're not pulling any punches. They are telling it like it is. And every time I hear it, it seems like it's just that much worse. So you know how it is. Once the feeding frenzy starts, it's going to take a while before this settles. It's not going to end the monarchy, but it will prove to be embarrassing. And maybe if they have something else to do besides thinking about what Harry and Meghan is doing, maybe that will take some of the pressure off the Sussexes. I hope. I hope. Prince William is booed as he leaves the Ulster University campus to chants of Free Palestine during Belfast visit. Well, it wasn't just Free Palestine. It was just basic shouts of contempt. I only heard one person yelling about Palestine, but the others, think about it. This is Belfast, Northern Ireland, and it is not a place where most royal visits are welcome. When the Queen made a visit to Ireland, didn't she go to the Republic of Ireland? Didn't she go to I think they had to clear the streets. Or was that Belfast? I can't remember. Maybe it was Belfast, but I think they had to clear the streets. I mean, it was a lot of security for that visit the last time she went over to Ireland. So he's got a lot of nerves going over there in the first place. I was actually shocked because he is not a profile of courage by any stretch of the imagination. And of course, I'm not going to leave you hanging. I do have those videos to share. Those welcome William Wells videos. Are we ready? So that was entering the place. And of course, the only thing that was as much fun as him walking in was watching him sheepishly exit the facility. As they like to say, he got to stepping. He got to stepping. Oh boy. I mean, they were screaming to beat the band. He's not used to that type of confrontation. You know that. But he better get used to it because, and then of course, I'm not going to play this one again. The way that Graham Smith spoke about William's laziness. Oh my God, did he lay into him? He laid into him. He filleted him like a trout. I mean, filleted him. Boneless. It was boneless Willie by the time he got done with him. Matter of fact, while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to put that on the I'll get the link for you. But yeah, it was some shouts of Palestine, and then other shouts were just plain booing. Okay. Oh, they're closing an Aldi store? Oh my God. Who closes Aldi's? Let me see if I could find it. Sorry, I didn't think this one through, but I'll try to find it because it was just so good. I don't want you to miss it. So I got to go to history. Yeah, history check. Okay. I love Graham Smith. He's always trolling Willie. He's trolling the whole family. And he doesn't give a toss about Kate Middleton either. All of that Kate's cancer stuff. He's like, yeah, but she still don't work. She didn't work when she was well. She didn't work pre-cancer. What do you expect her to do after cancer? So that's the link. And I just pinned it to the top of the chat. Okay. Yeah, so while everybody else is working and doing jobs, listen, y'all, let me tell you something. I don't care nothing about these people, but if they wouldn't have been messing with Meghan, do y'all think I'd be sitting up here thinking about William and Kate and Charles and Godzilla? I wouldn't. You know, that's what they say. You shouldn't poke the bear. Seriously, you should not poke a bear. Leave asleep, let the bear sleep. I was sitting up there, man, in my own business, watching Meghan doing these little walkabouts and stuff like that. And then it was interrupted with racism and what is that? Anti-Americanism and all the other isms. And since they have I guess, appealed to my darker nature, now I cannot leave them people alone. And I think that goes for most of the Sussex squad. We are a peaceful, loving people, and they started messing with Meghan, and look at what they have awakened. Now we dragging them all over the Twitter streets and all. I'm telling you, I am really not that person that I appear to be. I was just fine. Let me watch Meghan wear some pretty clothes and everybody's being nice to her and she's hugging them. I was perfectly fine with that. But no, they had to start getting all racist and stuff. So I'm just like, you know what? Y'all got me all effed up. Y'all messing with the wrong one now. So now here I am. I can't wait for them to go out on some kind of tour so I can drag them. Got all kind of receipts. Oh, what could I say? Leave black people alone. Um, okay. What was that? Okay, I was over here. And all right, swaggery Prince William needs Prince Harry, not yes men, to save the monarchy. Royal expert Martha Ross, blah, 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 blah. So I get with it. And by the way, that photo did not go with that article. I threw that in there myself. They are concerned about William. You all know that. William is not ready. Charles, we need you to be okay because we're not ready for King William. William is going to be a big headache. They're going to do everything they can to hide his incompetence from the world. So far, they have not done a good job of it. The only thing that they have managed to do was to keep a lot of interest on the Sussexes, and not too many people are talking about the other stuff. They know how to silence people, but there is I think, a very silent majority of people that get it. There's a very silent majority of people compared to a very vocal minority of people who are trying to blame Harry and Meghan for everything. It's not working anymore. I'm so pleased at all of the comments that I have come across where they have been mocking the tabloid media for trying to assign blame to the Sussexes. But they need someone who can speak to William. I don't even know that Harry would even want to try if he would be up to the task at any given time because, first and foremost, he has a life of his own in California. And secondly, they will only use him and then cast him adrift as soon as they get what they want out of him. And I think he's got way too much going for him at this point to allow that to happen. So I think that whatever opportunity that was available for that in the past has already come and gone. Harry said that this is everything that everybody needs in so many words. It's a golden opportunity. We can help you with the Commonwealth. You'll have, some popular and young people to help with the royal duties and stuff like that. It was just perfect. It was picture perfect. I think that Harry was amazed at how well Meghan could fit into the role. And that is their words, the role, not mine. That is what they call it, the role. He was amazed at how easily she could fit into it, how easy she made the work appear to be. Harry was also alarmed at how perfect Meghan was for every task. And the tabloids spent all that time, month after month after month, trying to downplay Meghan's successes, trying to highlight anything that they could say was a failure, even if it clearly was not, being very hypercritical of her wardrobe, her facial expressions. They ruined a good thing, and the royal family has no one to blame but themselves. Charles deserves the humiliation that he receives from Republic, among other people. William deserves it. Kate, Godzilla, they deserve it. They had an opportunity and they blew it. It just reminds me of what this one financial guy said about Donald Trump. Donald Trump's scheming and conniving all these years in business. A man who had like a $400 million head start in life. He inherited and stole money from his relatives. There are relatives who say they never got their fair portion of his father's estate. Not even his sister. But, he just outmaneuvered them. He outmaneuvered them. Well, anyway, what I'm trying to say is this, is that if he would have just put that money in a market, in a good market account or two, he would have more money in actuality, more money, more real money available to him than what he pretends to have. He'd have twice as much as he pretends to have. But for him, it's not really so much about the money as it is about exploiting people's weaknesses. If he can find a weakness to exploit, he will do it. If he can humiliate someone, he will do it. Hey, Church Nelly, I didn't know you were here. So I think that they closed ranks. They started flexing. They decided that they would show that American a thing or two. And they just didn't have enough respect for Harry to imagine that he would walk away from them. But they found out. They effed around and they found out. So let them save themselves. All I got to say is leave Harry and Meghan alone. Because really, I can just, you know me, I don't get tired. I'll just keep dragging them. I will praise our faves and drag the rest of that crew. I don't get tired. But it would be nice. It would be nice if once in a while there was not some type of a hidden agenda or some kind of hate campaign. I saw one of the Meghan haters the other day. I know it was today actually. And you guys, I could not tell you the nasty things that she said about Meghan. I couldn't. I could not unhear it, but I definitely would not tell you. And it was a lot like what they were saying about Camilla. Her career success was not a career success, that she used other means to make it in life. Mostly that's desperation because they can see that other things are not working. But the other part of that is that it is a way to downplay the success of a successful woman of color. I hate that that is a thing, but it is what it is. They're just very intimidated by that. They're very intimidated by that. Do you guys know that Trump did not look at Kamala Harris one time during the debate? He never turned his head in her direction. It was a deliberate disrespect. He had no intentions of shaking her hand if she hadn't gone over to him. And he did that to Angela Merkel, right? When all of the white supremacists and nationalists were upset with Angela for inviting refugees to Germany for asylum, the right-wing media made it very clear that Trump was angry with Angela Merkel. And when they met the first time, not only would he deliberately ignore her, he refused to shake her hand. He looked at the cameras and did his best not to ever look her way. And that was quite deliberate. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And these people do not care about what the Sussex children will witness, what they will think of it. They don't care. They absolutely do not care. So yeah, anybody who thinks that the Sussex squad is abrasive, at least we're not chasing anyone down and calling them nasty, filthy things trying to get a reaction. And I agree with what Harry said. The fact that other people have gone through similar things, not nearly as disgusting, but the fact that other people have gone through it, that's no excuse. That's no excuse. There should not be a hazing or disrespect or some type of a psychological attack on a person just because it happened to another person. That's not good enough excuse. I mean, I would not want to be exposed to a particular abuse because it happened to other people. That's the only way that I can be a part of this, is that I must go through the abuse too. So, you guys, I'll say it again. Supporting the Sussexes puts us on the right side of history, right? And depending on who you support when you vote and such, do know you're on the right side of history. Because the movement in the Western culture right now, they're trying to dismantle institutions. They're trying to shut down anything that gave a voice to non-white people, to women, and of course the whole, you guys, the whole thing with the transgender stuff. I feel as though that was hyped up because of the election. I do believe that they were using the big umbrella that the Democrats have. They were trying to make the Democrat Party look like a circus, like a freak show. And it's not to say that anybody who is transgender is any of those things, but it's just like the evening news. In certain cities, you almost think that white crime does not happen. You think crime is only in the black community. I've seen this my whole life, where you don't even imagine that a white person could commit a crime. And so when I watch the news from the UK or from other countries, I'm almost impressed when I see it, because I'm like, oh, white people do commit crimes. But in most of these big cities in the US, you don't see it. You don't see it. And even the small towns, you don't see it. And even like, if there is if there's a white perpetrator or and a black perpetrator, if they're a young person, they will show the white person, the white kids, graduation pictures. And for a black perpetrator, the mugshot. Now they have the mugshot for the white person, but they don't share that. They only share the mugshot for the black people. And for someone white who have not noticed these things before, I'm not making it up. This is a real thing. I've seen it my whole life. I've seen it my whole life. I have been othered my whole life, and I know othering when I see it. So that is the stuff that we're struggling against. And I the election was a setback to me, just like anybody else, but I'm not going to let this election change me. I'm not going to go into the shadows for safety and all that kind of stuff. I just cannot do that. I'm going to keep using whatever platform I have for the greater good. Connie Balmer! Hey, Connie Balmer, you just joined us? Oh, my goodness. And we're just about done. Let's see. How Justin Welby fell onto Harry and Meghan's spell. Well, Sir Michael Take, CBE, I wonder if that's his real name. Meghan Markle is not only responsible for the fall of Justin Welby, but is also the blame for the recent riots, the bullying on Strictly. Manchester City recent poor run of form, what is that? Of form, whatever that is. And what is that? Munchnet, bee stings, fungi rashes, the pandemic, the war in Ukraine, climate change, and Mrs. Brown's Boys on TV. Wow, I tell you, Meghan's been busy, ain't she? She has been busy. Just think, if Meghan hadn't met Harry, there would be no problems in all of the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom would be the happiest place outside of Disney World. But because of Meghan, everything seems to have gone astray. Isn't that something? Before Meghan met Harry, everything was like a trip to Disney World. Yeah, it was like a trip to Disney World with a platinum Amex card. Oh, well. And we're going to close tonight with Halle Berry. I found some better photos than what I had last night. But yeah, beautiful. So on either side, that is 58-year-old Halle Berry wearing her Elie Saab gown. And in the center, that was Oscar night. So breathtaking, absolutely breathtaking. That gown is aging very well, and so is Halle Berry. Magnificent. So yeah, that's it. Halle Berry 58 proves she still hasn't aged a day since she rewears her iconic Oscar dress 22 years after historic Best Actress win. So I'll look for your last comments and then we'll say goodnight. Anything? Anything? See there? Hour and 14 minutes. Not bad. Hour and 14 minutes. How are you, Church Nelly? Now, you were about to start a procedure, I believe. We will be praying for you. You know that, don't you? YM Droid, 21 months membership. Let me see. Thank you very much for 21 months membership. I heard Meghan made the dinosaurs go extinct. Except for Camilla. Somehow she survived. You know, the one thing I kept thinking about during the global pandemic was what kind of world are we going to leave Keith Richards, Madonna, Cher, and Godzilla, the Queen Consort? That's all I could think of is what kind of world are we going to leave them? Are we going to leave them a better place or what? So those are the people that I thought about first. Anyone who can make it through an ice age, I just don't think that the global pandemic could touch them. So I knew Camilla would be okay. Okay. All right. Well, you guys, when do we expect to see the Sussexes again? Is it for Tyler Perry's something birthday or something? I don't recall. When are we expecting to see the Sussexes? I was kind of thinking they were going to make a surprise appearance today or tomorrow. I really did believe that. I'm taking a look through the Twitter and see if there's anything I missed. And so far, I don't see anything. Oh, the Tyler Perry Award. Okay. Do you know what the date is? Oh, you guys, there have been people that have been oh. Now, okay, this is what I have been trying to find. There was a video earlier, and it said that Meghan Markle, this is what it said. I didn't share it because I couldn't see Meghan. But let me tell you what it says. The caption says, "Me and Meghan Markle just led a soul clap." Now, as I'm looking back at this, they say that the person has deleted. The UK tabloid can beg and plead unless Keenan says they can use his footage. They can't. But it says that he's just deleted it. I could not see Meghan, and that's why I did not share it with you. But it looks like it's some occasion, and I kept looking and looking and looking. I still didn't see Meghan. I don't know what they're referring to. Um, okay, is that Meghan? I don't know. So yeah, I didn't mention it because now I see her. Damn it. Now I see her. I should have saved that video. Now I see her. Oh, I'm so mad at myself. But you know what? I know one of the squaddies saved that video. I don't doubt that one of the squaddies saved that video. And you know, I am pretty fast off the block. When I see something, I immediately download it. And that one I missed because I didn't see her. I was like, are they talking about Megan Thee Stallion? Now I see her. Oh boy. Well, if I can find it again, I will share it with you. But let me see if someone else may have saved it. Nope. No, no, no. Huh. Isn't that something? You guys, I am so sorry. I did not save that. I do apologize. I should have saved it. I could not see Megan, so I was like, I don't see her. So I didn't try to save it. But it was like there was a choir there. Oh man. Well, don't worry. They may put it back up. And I do mean it's gone. Let me see if I can find it on I don't know. I don't even know whose house that was. And who knows why they took it down. Hmm. Yes, it is something a little off. As a matter of fact, I have been thinking that for quite some time, that there was something not altogether there. Yep. I have been thinking that for some time, but I kept my mouth to myself. In the meantime, let me see if I can find that. Let me see. There may have be okay. There's someone on Instagram that usually saves everything. Oh, you guys, I'm so mad at myself. I kept looking at the video and I said, I don't see her. And I don't like to share stuff if I don't know what I'm seeing or looking at. So I didn't save it. And now that I see a still photo, I see Megan twice. And they were singing some gospel stuff, which is a great departure. Um, oh, oh, you guys, how did I let that one slip by? How? How did I let that slip by? I save everything else, and that's the one that got away from me. Well, if anybody sees it, inbox me on Twitter or the Royal Sussex channel email. Mm-mm-mm. A missed opportunity. All right, you guys, I am going to go, um, which means that I'm going to sit here for about the next hour trying to figure out if I can find that video. I'm trying to think who else might have it, but it would really depend on if they saved it themselves. And I just don't think anybody else got a chance to do that. And I tell you, there are some people that be working at Twitter, nothing gets past them. So yeah, good night, you guys. I'm done. I'm just talking to myself right now. I'm talking and looking. But you don't have to stick around. I'm done. Oh, I'm so mad at myself. I'm gonna start dropping some F bombs in a minute. uh I wonder why they deleted it though. It says Kennebell has deleted. The UK can beg and plead unless Keenan says they can use his footage. They can't. And the person who made the video, he says, me and Meghan Markle just led a soul clap. Oh man. It was kind of dark though, and I did not see her. It says this post has been deleted. Mm-mm-mm. Keenan Bell. That's his name, Keenan Bell. Oh, that's okay. That'll give me something to do tonight. I'm going to be doing some digging around and see if I can find it. Wonder why he deleted it though. You know what? It's probably because there was a bunch of what do you call it? Derangers attacking them. You know how they do. Probably a bunch of derangers. Nope. Nothing. That's why I cannot stand those derangers. They always messing up stuff. Oh, you know what he said? Got to delete that video before the British tabloids wake up. Yeah, he's not going to put it back up. That's what he said. He said, I got to delete that video before the British tabloids wake up. Ain't that something? Oh, well, you know what? It's just as well. If he thinks that it's better that, you know, they don't get a hold of it, then that's fine. That's fine. I will accept that. I would love to say, well, at least I saw it, but hell, I didn't see Meghan. I saw people and I kept looking for. I'm just like, what do they mean? Where's Meghan? I don't see Meghan. So that's why I didn't save it. And now I'm kind of glad because I wouldn't want to put it out there and have the tabloids get it. I'd rather not have it than to have the tabloids get it. Want them making any extra money off of Meghan. Well, anyway, you guys, I will show you the still photo of Meghan in the crowd if you like. I will show that to you. And you could barely see her, so I'm not worried about sharing that with you. But yeah, there's a couple of photos of Meghan, and I'll share that with you. Not the best quality, but you can see her. Well, tell you what, I'll never let that happen again. Even if it's just for myself to keep, I will never let that happen again. But that just goes to show how awful and terrible the tabloid medias are, that a person would be like, you know what? I got to get this off of here before the tabloids see it. I'm sorry. I'm still here. I'm looking. I'm looking at something. Yeah, this guy's an artist of some kind, and it looked like a nice party though. Okay, let me cue up those photos and I'll share with you what I have. And then we will say good night. Uh yes, it is a choir there. That is a choir. It's not just like a bunch of people, just random people. That is definitely a choir. I wonder what this occasion was. My Duchess is going all the way back to her roots. I love it. Okay, give me a second, you guys. I'm almost ready. That, and that. Here we go. So clearly, that is Meghan right there. Let me take away this background so you can see better. That is Meghan right there. You can see everybody's holding their phones up. Look like she's wearing black. Yep. And I believe that is Meghan all the way over there on the left, standing next to what appears to be a blonde woman to her left side, right? And there are some guys wearing choir robes. I don't know who they are. And then here you can see me and Meghan Markle just led a soul clap, and they were definitely singing something gospel. And you could hear like some harmony going on, and it was beautiful. You guys, I'm so sorry. Do not be cross with me. Um, I did not see her in the video, so I was just like, I don't see her. Otherwise, I would have probably have shared it when I went on, but I did not see her. Mm-mm-mm. And it was 3 or 4 videos, and they were very short. They were very short. Mm. Oh, well. Sorry. 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 Ah. There will be other videos, you guys. There will be other videos. It's not like this is the mm, we just ain't gonna be able to see that one. That's all. Okay. Mm-mm-mm. I know. I'm very upset with myself. I am. I'm just like, I should have. But then again, it would probably is for the best because if he deleted it, I certainly wouldn't want to share something that the creator did not want out there. Fudge, pardon my language. But let me see. Let's go back to that first one. Wow. Looks like it's a nice party, whatever it is. See, our Duchess is out there having a great time. She is not worried about all of that constant negativity in the universe. Did not see Harry. I would love to see Harry at a gospel church. I really would. I would love to see Harry at a gospel church, getting the Holy Ghost and feeling the Spirit and running up and down the aisles. I'd love to see that. Let's see. Oh, okay. All right. Love you guys. Thank you so much. I will see you all tomorrow. I will see you all tomorrow. Take that away. And I'll put our queen there. Yes. And thank you, moderators. Good night. Good night. Guten Tag. Morgen. Morgen. Guten Morgen. Bitte. Dankeschön. Auf Wiedersehen. Auf Wiedersehen, Connie. Auf Wiedersehen. Okay. How do I get out of here? There we go.